Hey everyone, it's Carissa Wiley at sprinkledwithglitter.com. Thanks for joining me today. Today I am sharing 5 ways to use the new Bat Hugger die from the Essentials by Ellen line. This is brand new today. It just hit the shop, available exclusively at ellenhutson.com. And I'm going to show you 5 ways to use this to create all kinds of fun Halloween crafts. So here's a look at the Bat Hugger die. It cuts the outline of the bat as well as scores the lines. It also has a couple of sets of eyes. Now the Essentials by Ellen fall release also includes this adorable Tiny Stars hot foil plate, and I'm going to be doing some hot foiling on various colors of cardstock to create my projects today, and I am using a black foil. So I have my Gemini foil press here, and I have my plate with the design facing up. And I'm going to cut down my foil here and lay it with the prettiest side facing the design on the foil plate. Then I'm going to lay my cardstock on top of it and finish my sandwich off with the shim and set my timer for 15 seconds. Now I'm using a Glimmer hot foil today, so that is designed to work with the Spellbinders Glimmer machine, but you can also use it with the foil press as well. I just find that I like to use the medium heat when I'm using the Glimmer foils, and it works beautifully. So you can see my little Tiny Stars design there on my cardstock. And I'm gonna continue to foil a few more pieces of cardstock because I'm going to be cutting a lot of these adorable bats. So I have my foil on the hot foil plate again. I have my cardstock, and once the timer runs out, I'm gonna run this through my Gemini Junior. That's gonna give it some pressure to press the foil into the cardstock. So then I am left with a beautiful foiled design on my cardstock. So I have various colors of pinks and corals and grays here with all of my tiny stars on it, and they are so adorable. So the first way to use this Bat Hugger die is exactly how it was intended. So I am folding on the pre-scored lines. The die actually scores these lines into the wings of the bat, and I'm going to reinforce those folds using a bone folder. And I like to kind of fold in the opposite direction first and then fold in the proper direction to kind of get my fold started. Now these were designed to be kind of like these little treat huggers, and that's what I'm going to create here. So in order to do that, all you need to do is die cut your bat, fold on the pre-scored lines, and then insert your treat. Now there's a lot of different treats you can put inside of these, and little mini Hershey bars, the Hershey nuggets, those all work really good. I'm going to use some chapstick in some of these, and they're also great for holding cash. Now, if your kids are anything like mine, they would prefer to have the cash over the candy anyway. So you can see I am folding several of these bats, getting them ready for the treats. And once I have them folded, all of the wings are ready to wrap around or hug the treats. I'm going to start adding a little bit of double-sided adhesive inside of the bat. And that's just going to hold my treat in place. So I'm using this 1/4 inch wide score tape here, and you can see I'm just able to just put a little piece of it in there and kind of tear it off. And to hold these little bat huggers closed, I really like to use twine. Now you could also tape them shut using a double-sided adhesive or use a glue dot, but the added twine on the front is so cute. So you can see once I have my double-sided adhesive inside of the bats, I'm going to remove the backer sheet, put my treats in there, and then the wings wrap around these little bats. Now you'll notice that on these, I didn't actually cut any eyes in these, and that's because if you're going to be making a lot of these, you may not want to have that extra additional step of die cutting the eyes in each of the bats. But that option is there if you choose to do that, and I'm going to show that to you on the next project. So now I've grabbed my twine and I've just cut little links of twine, and I'm tying these in a bow, just holding those little bat wings closed. And as I mentioned earlier, you could use a liquid glue or glue dot for this if you choose, but I think the twine is just super cute. And you can see as I finish up my last one here, I have a variety of little treats. I have all these different colored bats, and it is so much fun and so easy to make these. Now, I have a variety of different treats inside of my bat huggers here, but I would love to hear in the comments below what you might wrap up in these bat hugger dies. I think they're super cute way to give a little Halloween treat. I know my daughter would love like a little eyeliner in this. You could also wrap up a little tiny lip gloss or even one of those really mini bottles of nail polish, and that would be fun as well. So the next way to use this bat hugger die is actually on a card project, and I am going to die cut this tiny star foiled piece of pink cardstock using the bat hugger die. I'm just running it through my Gemini Junior, and you can see the bat cuts out perfectly. I love having these little black stars on the bats because it just adds a little bit of shine, and it kind of makes the Halloween feel a little more glam to me. And you can see I am just folding on the lines there, getting this bat hugger ready. And I've taped the 2 eye dies in place on the bat so I can die cut some eyes on this bat. And I'm also using the High Five die set from the Essentials by Ellen line to cut a little heart from this kind of corally orangey cardstock. So I'll run those through the die cut machine, and you can see now I have the little die cut eyes. If you didn't want to die cut eyes on your bat, and I cannot get over the rhyme there, die cut eyes, you could also use little googly eyes on these as well. Now I've also die cut from some glitter cardstock, one of the Essentials by Ellen Spiderwebs. I absolutely love these, and you're going to see this kind of throughout these projects, these little spiderwebs, hearts, and also the word boo that I die cut using the classic block alpha from the Essentials by Ellen line. And I've just kind of made a little grouping there to go on my card project. And now I am prepping a piece of ebony cardstock from the Essentials by Ellen line with my powder tool. And I'm stamping this Hey Boo sentiment. This is from the Tag It Halloween stamp set that's also part of the new fall release from the Essentials by Ellen line. I've stamped that in some Versamark ink, added my white embossing powder, and then I heat set that. And I trimmed it down into a little banner shape, and I'm just gonna place that along the bottom of this grouping. Now for my card front, I'm going to actually just close one of the wings. So I have a little piece of foam adhesive on the back of that grouping of die cuts that I created earlier. And I'm going to just fold this over and close one of the wings. So one will be open and one will be closed. Now I have one of the Essentials by Ellen Essential Rectangle dies, and I'm die cutting this piece of gray cardstock that I did foil with the Tiny Stars hot foil stamp. And I am going to use that to kind of create a base for my bat on my card front. So I've mounted my bat to that little rectangle. I've added a couple more glittery spider webs, and then I added that onto a top folding A2 size card base made from some Essentials by Ellen linen cardstock. And then I'm gonna roll up a $20 bill. Maybe you don't wanna give a $20 bill, that's okay. It's what I had in my wallet. And I tucked that inside the bat wing there to create an adorable money holder card with this bat hugger die. Next, I'm going to use the bat hugger die to create an adorable Halloween garland. And I am die cutting this bat from some charcoal felt from the Essentials by Ellen line. This is a high quality wool blend felt, so it die cuts beautifully. I'm just running this through using my normal die cutting sandwich, and you can see I have a beautiful die cut bat. Now I'm going to cut 3 of these bats from just the felt itself. And then I'm going to use the peel and stick adhesive on the back of this felt along with a layer of cardstock to cut 3 more bats. Now I wanted the bats that are going to remain open on my garland to have a little bit of heft and weight to them so that they wouldn't kind of flop around. And that's why I'm adding the layer of cardstock behind these particular bats. So you can see I've added the peel and stick fabric fuse adhesive behind the felt, and I will have all of these products linked in the YouTube description below. And then I am going to run that through my die cut machine with no die to press that adhesive really well onto the back of the felt. Then I'm going to remove the backer on this adhesive and attach this felt with the adhesive to a piece of cardstock. This is going to give this felt a little bit of stiffness so that it will hold its shape and I don't have to worry about these bats kind of folding up on my garland. But because this is so thick, I am going to add my metal shim to my die cutting sandwich in order to die cut this. And you may find that you have to run this through your die cut machine twice, but it generally cuts fairly well. And that will also depend on the weight of the cardstock that you're using behind your felt. And by the way, I think this charcoal felt is the perfect color for these bats. I love that it's not like a solid black, but it has that kind of dark Halloween feel. So now I have my 3 bats. 3 of them have the cardstock layer behind them, and 3 of them are just cut from the felt. And that is because I want to be able to fold the wings in on these bats. So I'm going to take some more of the Fabric Fuse, this time liquid glue, and I'm going to add it to these bat wings, and I'm kind of going to fold them shut to where it looks like they're hanging upside down on my garland. And I have die cut these little hearts. That is from the High Five die set from the Essentials by Ellen Line, from some coral felt from the Essentials by Ellen Line. And I'm just folding the wings around the heart. So these bats are going to look like they're sleeping upside down on the garland holding the heart. And this fabric glue does take a moment to set up, so I just kind of hold it closed for just a minute, give that glue some time to set up, and then I have all of my bats ready to go on the garland. Now I thought it would be fun to add some of these wool pom-poms to my garland just for a little festive feel. So I've grabbed the ivory ones from this pack, and I'm going to use a needle to string up all of my pieces onto a piece of gray and white twine. Now I did have to use my die snips here to kind of pull that needle through. The eye of my needle is really large, so getting that through all of the felt and the layers was a little bit difficult. If you have a smaller eye on your needle, it might be a little less difficult, but I was able to make it work. And I am just stringing all of this up. I am adding just a couple little holes. I'm poking through with the needle and just stringing all of these bats, both the opened and the closed versions, onto this twine. And once I have everything kind of laced up here or strung up on my garland, I'll be able to slide things back and forth on the garland in order to evenly space them. And by the way, my daughter is already begging for this garland for her room. She loves bats. And you can see for these with the hearts and the closed wings, I am stringing them onto the garland upside down so it looks like they're hanging and sleeping, or whatever it is that bats do. They sleep, right? Now, I have to tell you, I don't think I've ever made a garland with my paper crafting products before, but I think this was so much fun and a great way to use a die like this. You could also change up the shape and use a heart for Valentine's Day and create a really adorable Valentine's Day garland, or even a Christmas garland. And I think adding these felt pom-poms to it just made it extra festive. So let's move on to the 4th way to use this bat hugger die, and this one is so easy to do. I'm just going to use it as a gift topper, and I think that we forget that we can make these fun little shaped tags for the top of small little gifts and really just dress things up. I love wrapping up gifts, even if it's just something like a gift card, and making it feel a little more special. You can see I have a bunch of these bats die cut and ready to go here. I'm just going to use this pink bat here, and I have a little pillow box that I have tied up with some black ribbon. I'm just going to take that bat and I am going to use a mini clothespin to just clip this bat to my gift. Now, in order to make this a little dressier and a little more festive, I'm going to layer up a couple more die cut images, including another spider web and the word boo that I die cut from some glitter cardstock. And that's a really simple way to dress up an adorable little gift. Now, the 5th and final way that I'm sharing to use this bat hugger die is to create a cake topper or a cupcake topper. So I folded these wings just a little bit differently. I've done a back fold on the first score line and then a forward fold on the second score line. So this bat has some dimension, but it still looks like the wings are open. Then I flipped it over, and on the back side, I added a little bit of double-sided tape. You could also do this with some hot glue, but let's be honest, hot glue guns and I are not friends. And I've just taken like a little cocktail straw and added it to the bottom of this bat. Now, in order to cover that up, I've taken a second gray bat and I've trimmed off the wings, so just along those score lines. And I'm going to take some liquid glue and I'm going to place it at the top back side of this bat with that little cocktail straw on it. And I am going to layer just this little piece that I trimmed out on top of that, and it kind of hides where you've put the adhesive to hold that little straw. Now, you could also use a bamboo skewer or something like that, but this was something I had on hand and it was just the easiest thing for me. Now, to finish this off, I've added a little black heart, the die cut word boo, and a little pink spider web as well, and that makes the most adorable cupcake or cake topper for a festive holiday treat. So there you have it, 5 ways to use the brand new Bat Hugger die from the Essentials by Ellen line that's a part of their fall 2021 release. I really hope you enjoyed this look at the Bat Hugger die and that it really sparked your creativity for different ways to use not only this die, but other dies that you may have in your stash. Now, this is a part of an Instagram hop. Over on Instagram, we are celebrating the fall 2021 Essentials by Ellen release with an Instagram hop. There are prizes and inspiration over there, and you can find my Instagram account linked in the description below. As always, I will have links to the featured products used in these projects in the description at YouTube, so if you're looking for something in particular, be sure you check there. And I just want to say thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me today. I really hope you enjoyed these projects. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications here on my YouTube channel. Drop me a comment and let me know which of these projects was your favorite. And if you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you would share it with a friend. Thanks again for watching. I am so glad you're here. Join me over on Instagram for this Instagram hop celebrating the fall 2021 release. And until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the very end. You know, if you've made it this far, you are one of my favorites. To subscribe to my channel, go ahead and click the button on the left side of the screen. And here's a couple more video tutorials I thought you might enjoy.